Okay, day 101.5, nukes, sats, and subs. Nukes, sats, and subs. When we brought Nazi scientists into Virginia here, when we were in need of nukes, sats, and subs against Russia, we brought in these paperclip scientists, and McDuff can tell you all about that and how they chased these guys all over Virginia and Fort Hunt and all their goings on. But we needed nuclear submarines. We needed satellite technology for going against the Cold War, and the Cold Warriors needed satellite technology. We needed subs for the deterrent. All that nuke, sats, and subs were all critical national defense imperatives. We needed these Nazi scientists. That's why we brought them in. But maybe what we didn't realize is that they had other ambitions other than nukes, sats, and subs, and eventually manned flight. Maybe they had a broader agenda of, we will recreate the Third Reich into maybe the Fourth Reich. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't have those I don't do that. But nukes, sats, and subs, I can tell you that there was an infiltration, there was a deliberate effort to gain key government positions, both civil and military, for the diaspora of these resettled scientists. That is just fact. There's no question about it. Now the key is, the ones that went into our intelligence agencies, into Allen Dulles and the CIA, did that core decide to then infiltrate other intelligence agencies like the FBI, like counterintelligence at the CIA going into counterintelligence at the FBI? Is that the group that became the core that we see now? Probably starting in '93, but really becoming effectuated in '98 with Mueller, McCabe, Comey, Rosenstein. Is that what we're seeing? Is nuke, sats, and subs just played out on a grander scale, on a larger scale now, that is writ large, so that everyone can see that this is the natural progression of an infiltration? Now, I am of German heritage. I appreciate scientists that can do sats, nukes, and subs. I appreciate that. But all the other things, all the other bad habits, let's just call them bad habits very euphemistically, that they brought with them, their treatment of women, their views on race, their views on infiltration and murder and death, and their Machiavellian approach to life, those things need to get dropped at the coastline. Those don't need to come into the United States, and unfortunately they did. So all I can do is say what is true and what isn't true, and that is true, that they brought, with the sats, nukes, and subs, they also brought all those other bad habits. And all I'm trying to do is say that that can't go on. And I want to do a little bit of a tribute here to Task Force, because every once in a while we know, we get the disruption. We know that we got a lot of, tax dollars on us. And sometimes you get whimsical and say, well, who will play you when you're dead? So I always wanted, Brendan Fraser, because he's younger, better looking, and he's goofy like me. And Task Force said, well, who would play me? And I said, well, that's easy, Demi Moore. Why? I said, well, G.I. Jane. Only maybe advance the clock, maybe 8 years, where, you're a little bit more embittered by the system. And she says, why? And I said, well, there was remember that little stool that they offered her? Remember, she went through the whole Navy SEAL training course, and then right at the end, all the guys offered her that 4-inch step stool to get over the 6-foot fence. And she didn't take it. She went right over the fence without it. And I said, that's you, Task Force, that's you. And she said, well, I did have 3 or 4 ligaments, or knee completely replaced as a junior, spent a year in a cast, and then ended up getting a college scholarship, being an MVP in our basketball team, going on to being a great police officer. So this one's for you, Task Force.